Melissa, we are the first Velocity Backstage interview
We are.
of this season.
Backstage access to Velocity.
Gosh, I knew we were special, but like...
I think we're pretty special.
I knew it.
Because we're like opposites attract.
I mean,
like Paula Abdul and the cat.
Ah.
Who do you want to be?
The shoes.
I want to be Paula, obviously.
Okay.
I grew up dancing to her in my bedroom.
Speaking of, so who were your dance icons, or like your favorites, your legends? What were some dance artists or artists in general that inspired you?
Okay, well, Paula
inspired you,
Abdul,
maybe?
honestly, cause I was such a bunhead. I grew up only doing ballet. I was 5 years old, and we had dancers in my family. I think I probably told you this, but like my grandmother on my mom's side was Shirley Temple's double in all the movies.
What?
So you see like little Shirley Temple, and then if it's like in the distance or on the side or in a dance thing from the back, that was my grandma.
What was her name?
Dorothy.
Dorothy.
I know. I never got to meet her though, unfortunately. Wow. But and then my great grandmother was a Ziegfeld Folly, and like in all the old motion pictures.
No way.
So dancers were in my family. So I grew up watching all like the old movies and musicals and things like that. But so they put me in ballet, and I was like I was a tomboy, so I was my hair was always messy. But I did ballet all the time, but secretly I wanted to be cooler than that. So I would dance to not Britney Spears, she wasn't around yet. Paula Abdul. Janet Jackson. What? But then secretly, I also did Let's Get Physical to Olivia Newton-John.
No
And I wanted to be Sandra Dee. So that's who I grew up like emulating, like a ballerina, but like a little sass on top. But I was never trained in any of those other styles. But I always added a little extra personality to my ballet. So I think that is kind of what made me stand out a little bit.
100%, yeah.
But I always looked up to dancers that I danced with.
Yeah.
So never anybody super famous, but I would see an older dancer and I'd be like, I love her hands. Like she uses her hands so beautifully. This woman named Chir Xing from Taiwan, and I watched her hands. I studied them, and then I like stole it. Said, these are my hands now. And so I kind of took pieces from professional dancers. Nobody really famous in the ballet world at that point that I watched, but a little bit of everybody with the sass from the pop stars. You know?
I used to love Paula Abdul.
Wait, what about you?
Well, first of all, Paula Abdul follows me, I think, still.
Stop. I have her cell number. She's my most famous person on my phone.
Are we competing?
We are. Did I win?
Yes.
No, you are by far cooler than me.
No.
In so many ways. Okay,
Who,
go ahead.
Okay, so this is gonna sound sort of abstract, but ever since I was young, I used to love lines and like shapes, and I used to draw like birds on my papers and get in trouble, which is why I have birds on my neck.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But I literally always loved lines and length, and then I started to watch MTV, right? So all the pop stars like Janet, Britney, Madonna, and all those videos really inspired me. Especially like a lot of old Janet stuff. Not old Janet stuff, but like legendary Janet stuff, like Miss You Much and Strong. Yeah.
But sexy.
Rhythm Nation and just, and especially Paula Abdul with like 2 steps forward and 2 steps back. I forget what the song's called, but is that what it's called? I
take
don't know.
2 steps forward,
and 2 steps back. Yeah.
We come together because opposites attract.
Yeah, because you know,
it.
it ain't fiction. Yeah. It's an effort fact. But I feel like that kind of dance music, coupled with the shapes, the lines, the technique. I didn't start dancing till I was in college, but I literally remember those still have such an impact on my dancing. Yeah.
Did you, so in college, I didn't go to, that's another story, but did you go to college for dance, or were you in college and then you decided to dance?
So I was in college for voice, for singing. Went there for 1.5 years for singing, and then took a tap class.
Like classical or musical theater, Broadway, like what kind of?
Opera. Yeah, so it was voice, and then my twin brother and I, we took a tap class as a gym credit at Akron, Ohio. I don't think anyone knows this. At Akron, Ohio, Akron University, and then took a tap class, and then we were like excelling because we were naturally gifted at it, but at the same time we were in this like this dance crew, this college dance crew, perform at like Kappa auctions and all this stuff. So we were training in 2 different styles, and then we loved it and just started running with it. I think I was like 19 at the time. I've just turned 19 or just turned 20. I forget, but we ran with it, and then we got a degree, and yeah, just trained.
Your degree was still in voice, or what was it in?
Dance.
It was in dance.
We switched it to dance, yeah.
Okay, but do you still sing opera on the side?
Not opera, but we got an album coming out soon. No, we'll see.
So what got you into opera, though, singing?
It was just the classical voice program that they had at the school. Yeah,
My
so we had to
sister's a
learn.
singer.
Really?
Yeah, she's amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
The one who's married to...
To my husband's brother.
What?
Yeah. But she's a singer and a teacher and is gorgeous. And I danced with LA Opera quite a few times, and I loved being on stage for the operas. I did like Thais, Aida, Orfeo Eurydice.
Shut up.
Yeah, La Traviata, all these operas. But to be on stage and perform and
Oh my gosh.
dance while these people
While
are
we're
like,
singing.
whoa, like right around you, it's so powerful and so beautiful.
Are you a fan of like musical theater and stuff?
Yes.
Same.
Are you kidding me?
Same.
Have you met me?
Mike, do
I'm
you
the
see us?
biggest ham. Yeah, both of us. I know. That's like a secret thing that I wish I had the confidence to sing, because I want to be on Broadway and like be the star of everything.
Yes.
But my sister was the singer growing up, and I was the dancer, and it was kind of like we just didn't cross over out of respect for
Not
each
yet.
other. But yeah, I still have time. I'm not like when I'm 50.
Yeah.
I'll get up there maybe.
Oh my gosh, I feel like a lot of my twin brother and I's like aesthetics or like references come from live theater.
Yeah.
Or like musicals, you know? It's like such an amazing place to start, especially with character, performance, just setting, you know, like bringing the audience into the story. It's like, it's just the best.
Well, and that's why you're so great to watch, though, because you have a way of relating to whoever's watching you and being open and expressive.
Thanks.
Yeah, but that's part of it. It's
100%.
that people always say I flirt when I dance. I'm like, I'm not. I'm just trying to connect
100.
with the audience, and the way I do that is like making them feel that I want to be there with them,
Yeah,
and
like
to
charisma.
pay attention to them, so that they pay
Yes.
attention to me and tell a story and be open and vulnerable, which is hard to do sometimes.
It's so
but
hard to do.
like, yeah, and I mean. But I think that's how I've gotten my career, because I never had my legs up or all the turns or tricks or
I was
anything.
just about adding on to that. Iron!
I mean, I got a foot in a fifth position, but like, no, I can bop mine. Can't hold it. It's fine.
Holding it, please.
I'm in my 40s.
No.
I don't need to.
But you speaking about charisma and like inviting the audience in, I like heard this statistic that said like the most popular people are the ones that make everybody else feel seen and validated, which makes people excited to be around them.
Yeah.
And I think that that's such a key thing for a lot of dance artists to like realize is that it's not necessarily all about people watching you, but how can you include them, you know? So like to piggyback off that, what would be some key things that you could give like other dance artists or choreographers or like performers to really think about as they perform?
I mean, I was just telling the teen class this morning. I was like, okay, use your head. This is where it's supposed to be in ballet, but if you can give me like any extra and any kind of face, however you feel, whatever it is, give me something of you in the technique that you're given. Yes, it's ballet. Yes, we're working on our rotation, blah, blah, blah. But how can you make it you? And how can you express yourself while still doing all of that?
Wow.
And I think that sometimes in some auditions, everything feels so in your face and so forced that my eye automatically goes, what's that person doing over there who's just in their beauty and being who they are genuinely?
Yes.
It's a hard thing to explain, though, because you can't really teach it. You just have to be confident in what you know you do well, and obviously do the choreography well also, but be genuinely yourself.
Allow yourself to feel the moment and let it come out.
I used to try to be other people when I would audition for things, and I went to one audition, my only cattle call audition in LA, that asked for technical dancers. It said, technical dancers wear body conscious clothes. And I'm thinking, okay, like a cute little unitard, like you can see my body. And I went there, and the outfits, it was wild what I saw. And I was like, oh, okay. thinking it's a technical audition.
Yes.
It was not technical at all. So I went in there and I watched, and it was hair this, hair that, like drop to the floor, come up, and I slowly just like said, this isn't me. Like I could try and do this. I'm not confident or comfortable in this.
Yes.
I'll learn the combo like a master class.
Yes.
Cool.
Do your thing.
I'm gonna exit stage left and leave. And because I know like it's not me and I'm not gonna shine. And so I tell young dancers, like, you gotta know where you shine and really make yourself shine. Like, don't apologize for any of your shine.
So true.
But, you know, learn everything because you could shine at something else you don't even know.
So true.
But I think it's hard. Some things you just can't teach. And everybody has that thing of their own. They 100%. Just need to figure out what it is and be able to express it through their movement. You know, because we're all so different.
Yeah.
And here we are at the same place, but we're so different.
But we connect. It's crazy thinking about when you're any sort of artist at whatever age. It's like, how can you really pour into yourself and let yourself be seen? Let yourself. For me, a lot of times too, it's like we're so nervous to share our joy.
Yeah.
Or share that we love dancing, or share that we're having so much fun. And I think that is so attractive, you know, it makes people want to watch you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I try and tell dancers all the time, be aware of how you're feeling. If you're feeling nervous, couple that with at least some commitment and just go and let yourself be seen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's so many things that you can maybe even heal by just letting yourself dance.
Well, and I think allowing yourself to make mistakes. It was my biggest thing as a ballerina, coming from training and like our different paths of training. My whole life was pretty much the same class every day since I was 5. Always pliés, always tendus, always dégagés, structure, and then looking in the mirror and trying to make it perfect every time. And then being defeated if I didn't, or being told it wasn't perfect, or my body wasn't right the way it was supposed to be. And so I still, like, sometimes I have to shake that off and be like, yeah, I'm gonna get on stage and I might not be on my leg and I'm gonna mess up, and is it the end of the world? No, it's not. And that fear of not doing well, or the fear of rejection, can absolutely mess with your brain.
100%.
And I can see that now when I'm watching kids in auditions. Like, I can see their body almost like shaking, and their brain and their mind and their eyes, if they're not just in the moment ready to dance, but if they're fearful of whatever could or would happen.
Yes.
And so that's something too that I realize and I see, and I wish that was easier to change. But I mean, how many times have you messed up?
Listen.
Yeah. What audition? Like, I'm sure you have so many stories of crazy things that have happened.
Yo, a lot of it too is like, yes, and I can segue that easy, but a lot of it too is, I think, as artists and as humans, I think growth comes from being, putting yourself in like uncomfortable situations, but not unsafe ones.
True.
Or if you're in an unsafe situation, exit.
Yeah, and there's a line.
And there's a line.
And you have to know where your line is.
Yeah, and I think sometimes people get their nervous system ramped up so they feel unsafe. But in actuality, they're just feeling sort of seen and it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I think it is just like trial and error and making sure that you can still show up, but if you feel unsafe, exit the premises.
Yeah.
But if you're feeling uncomfortable, lean in. You know what I mean? And know that that's where growth happens if you mess up. This is what it's about.
Yeah, you're gonna learn something. Absolutely.
This is what it's about. So there was this one audition situation.
I want to hear.
So Scott was auditioning in the room next to me, and I was doing I was dancing for Nicki Minaj for Victoria's Secret Fashion Show.
Deal.
Yeah, no, but it was like Victoria's Fashion Show. It was like a cute performance in New York, and Scott was auditioning, and he made it to the very, very end of the day, and he was like, I have a twin. They're amazing. So nice. And he was like, I would love for them to get the opportunity too. And they were like, you have a twin? And he was like, yeah, they're right next door. And he was like, are they available? And he was like, let me see. So he went next door. I don't think anyone knows this, actually. I'm not sure everyone knows this. But went next door, and I had just gotten onto break for a half hour. No, 15 minutes, half hour. Something like that.
Fate.
And then literally he was like, would you want to come in and meet the choreographer and then learn the piece? So I learned the piece in 5 minutes, auditioned against everyone else who
Had been there all day.
Had been there
like,
all day, who made all the
"Who's
cuts. And then made the cut, they cut a few more people, and then made it to the next callback, which I think was the next day, which we had off, and then we booked it. And that was for Ariana.
Meant to be.
It was just out of a random moment of like my brother like holding it down. Scott Nicholson, he's incredible.
The fact that he had the courage to even bring it up and ask and talk
to
about
involve
it
me.
is huge.
Yeah, and so, and then we've been with her for a very long time, but it's just, it's a beautiful thing when I felt very, in that moment, a little nervous, a little like, whoa, I'm trying to focus, but I have a moment to like just dive in and be uncomfortable, but also like exciting to dance with my twin who just like got all the way to the end of this audition.
Yeah, that's
Let's see what happens.
So you felt safe with him too.
Yeah, but how special is that? I think it's always like a thing of like, even no matter how old you are, if you're feeling nervous or uncomfortable, your body's like, here's some energy for you to lean in. You know what I mean? And then that's where growth happens. And if you mess up, you should be proud of yourself and that you even jumped. You know?
love that.
You gave yourself the velocity to like actually hit it. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta lean in.
I love that.
Yeah.
I know. I always say change your nervousness into excitement.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you're not excited, it means you don't care. So that nervous, excited feeling is important to have. And that's gonna, I mean, I've performed where I kind of don't feel anything. I'm way too relaxed. And that is much scarier.
Of course.
Like, I can't feel my body. I don't know what's happening. So, I would rather be a little nervous and excited.
Your body's trying to aid you. It's like, here's some energy.
Yeah.
Girl, go.
Get it. Adrenaline. To push through the pain.
Yeah, seriously.
The bunions. I'm just kidding. This is the one.
Cut.
And on bunions. No. So what's your favorite thing about Velocity?
Oh my gosh.
Besides
Okay,
me?
so this mic better be on because I'm about to drop it. No, I feel so, my favorite thing about Velocity, truly, is just everyone on this team is about it. They're all about inclusion, representation, support for the faculty, support for the students who come here. I feel as though I know as though our industry is lacking a certain type of support and also knowledge. And when those are coupled together, I think everybody flourishes and blooms. And I'm always looking to put myself in a place of like wonder, of curiosity, of like learning, but also like being able to show up with something. And that's what Velocity gives me, you know? My pronouns are they, them, and like they hold that down so hard, and they champion inclusion, and they champion like all these students who are here trying to show what they love.
Yeah.
But then also like they get really amazing knowledge to help catapult them into the industry. And I think they're so thorough with who they have on the faculty, with who they have shooting content, videos, working the merch. Like all these people make everyone feel so seen. And I feel blessed for this to be my first permanent year on the faculty. It's like so, 2024. It's just so exciting, and it's like it really fills me with so much excitement and wonder, and I feel so blessed.
Well, and we feel that way. You're like a bright light every weekend you're here. I get giddy and I scream every time I see you. I'm like,
I know, I'm like, Rah! I know, same.
But to be honest, I feel that way when I see pretty much everybody on this faculty and staff, because I've been here since the beginning, like way back when, OG. And it's like, okay, I have a family now. I don't want to leave my family if I'm going to be spending time with people that don't make me better and don't make me happy and don't push me to be good at my job. I see everything that you and my fellow faculty members do, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to step up, which is great. I need that. And it's just, it is a family. And it sounds so cheesy, but from what I hear from people that see all of us together, it's obvious. And I think that we're all in it for the good and for the betterment of our group and our dancers and the kids and everybody, everything in the industry. That, it's a little cliche, but then I love that about us.
It's real.
It's so real,
it's honest.
right?
I know.
I
wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I'm telling you, it's a beautiful thing.
I love that. I know, and like all of these cute little backstage moments. We're gonna have so many more, and everybody is so unique in how they got to this place that to get any little insights into our little paths and our journeys.
Yeah.
I think that's also amazing. You went to college. I didn't go to
Yes.
college. I went right from a ballet company to like TV to then convention to, how do
Yeah.
where's my bars? Where are my mirrors? I don't know how to teach ballet to a ballroom of kids.
But you help
but we're all here.
ballet evolve into more than just in the studio or on the stage. It's like you're making it so much more and spreading it to all these kids, planting seeds of just excitement, hope, technique, joy.
Just body awareness.
Yes.
And comfort in what you have and not trying to. Again, like I said, my legs were never up here, but you know what? Give what you have. It doesn't have to be.
100%.
I love it. I love you.
Love you. Thank you for this. So amazing.
Are we cute?